Hey everyone, we're here at Korg with the Volca modular, which is a modular synth that's part of the Korg Volca line of synthesizers. And Volca modular is unique because it's a West Coast style modular synth. And West Coast style modular synths are a little bit more about additive synthesis than the subtractive synthesis that's common in East Coast style synths. So one of the ways that Volca modular takes after classic West Coast synthesis is that instead of having filters that filter out harmonic content from the source oscillator, it has a wave folder. And in West Coast synthesis, traditionally, shaping harmonic content from a source oscillator was done with a wave folder or a wave shaper. And that basically sounds like this. And that wave folder is folding the source oscillator's wave in on itself to generate more harmonic content above the fundamental. And another way that Volca modular takes after a more West Coast synthesis style is that instead of envelopes, filters, and amplifiers, it has low-pass gates and functions. And low-pass gates essentially function as a cross between an amplifier and a filter. In this case, a low-pass filter where more frequency content is let in the lower end, and as the low-pass gate is fed a voltage, in most cases from a function, the voltage will determine how much higher-end content above that lower frequency content is allowed in, at the same time amplifying along the contour generated by the function that's feeding it voltage. So what that sounds like, essentially, is using this low-pass gate, I can cut out higher frequency content just by modulating by hand, and that's really apparent if I wave fold, so there's more higher frequency content you can hear, and then cut that out. So that's essentially functioning kind of like a low-pass filter would on a subtractive synth, but there's no resonance involved. And I talked about functions before instead of envelopes, which are another way that Volca modular takes after classic West Coast synthesis, in that on an East Coast style synthesizer, subtractive synth, an envelope is usually a ADSR or an ASR or something like that, whereas a function is essentially usable as many different types of shapes and usable as a one-shot or looping, as we've done before when we looped function number 2. And with the functions, you can do kind of a contour of rise-fall, or you can do looping contours, or you can do a very sharp attack and get kind of a plucky sound, and that's kind of a hallmark of West Coast synthesis. So to show that, I'm going to use both functions and control both LPGs, low-pass gates, with those functions. So the first thing that I'm going to do is, once again, loop function 2 by connecting the end of cycle trigger output to the beginning of cycle trigger input of function 2, and that's going to cause that function to loop. And I'm going to take the positive output of function 2 and go into the control input on LPG2, low pass gate 2. And what that's basically going to do is cause low pass gate 2 to receive a looping modulation signal from function 2. And if I turn up low pass gate 2, you can see that it's blinking a little bit. That means it's receiving modulation information. And then I'm going to duplicate the source signal that's going from the source into low pass gate 1, take the output, and go into low pass gate 2. Now both these low pass gate outputs are going to get summed and go towards the output of Volca modular. So if I bring in more of low pass gate 2, you can hear the two low pass gates, with low pass gate 1 being controlled by a function that's much slower, and low pass gate 2 being controlled by function 2, which is running a little faster. So that's the Korg Volca modular. In the next video, we'll go over each element of the signal path that makes up the Volca modular. If you like this video, or you have a question, or you want to tell us about a cool sound you made on your Volca modular, let us know in the comments below, and remember to subscribe to the Korg YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.